Okay, try and show you what I'm going to do here. Again, here's my true bar, and I'm just going to check to see how flat the bases are. So it's a little hard to show on camera, but try not to blind you. Got a flashlight here, my favorite little Petzl Zipka flashlight, and I've got it on the high LED setting here. And I have this cardboard here just so I don't blind you. But what I'm looking for here is this fine line of light right down at the base where the true bar meets the base. And I'm looking to see that that's a uniform fine line of light. And to you it looks kind of blinding, perhaps. To me, I can see that fine line. And it looks quite even. It might be slightly base, slightly high in the edges. Oftentimes near the shovel you'll get that, especially in the wider skis. They'll be edge high. But gosh, this thing is flat. That's what we want. A flat ski is a fast ski, a ski that you can control and turn. It does look like there is a slight bevel on the edge, just on the metal edges, maybe 1 degree, I'm guessing. It's pretty typical. So again, you can't really see that on camera, but you get an idea of what I'm doing with the true bar here. Normally I wouldn't have the lights this dark, but it seemed to help for you. So I'll pause it here and get back to it. Okay, bases are flat. Believe it or not, sometimes you get a new ski and they're not so flat. Okay, so I'm just going to wax these things and just going to give it a light brushing with the brass brush here. There we go. And plug the old iron in. Here's my little bungee cord taped to the cord, kind of keep it out of my way. Got the plug right overhead there, so my cord's not always getting in the way. And I'm going to use this base prep from Swix, the base prep warm. This is going to have the deepest penetration into the PTEX base. And I've taken to labeling my wax sometimes, because sometimes it's hard for me to tell the yellow wax apart from the base prep wax. So, yeah. The color's very similar. So the iron's heating up there. I'm just going to rub a little of this on. While that iron heats up, I'm going to set this at a very low temperature actually. I think the recommended for base prep is 110 Celsius. Very soft wax, so use a low temperature iron. Oh, and check this out. Let's see here. Got my venting system I redid, ventilation system here. So I've got a little bathroom fan, shower fan, and this hose. And then over here, I have my basement window. And I have this, which is kind of a flap here. I'm gonna do, let's see if you can see this. Ah! So I open my basement window, like that. Can you see that? Not quite. And then, yeah, and that'll go out the window now. And then when I'm done, I can just close the window. Yep, I got the styrofoam. Pretty good seal. Before it was pretty rinky-dink. This is better. Now, digging this inlaid logo here from Blizzard. Okay. So that iron should be hot now. Oop. Put you back there. And base prep 99 form. And we're gonna, these bases are gonna soak it up, I bet. We got some powder H down here. Let's see. I don't have my apron on. I'm gonna get wax all over my face. Okay, well this is nothing new. You've seen this before. Got a straight line down the edges here. Whee! And I'm going to use some fiberlene too. Some of you might not be familiar with that. I like to do that when I hot wax. Now, I need more wax. I bought a whole box of this. Comes with 4 or 5 of these bricks. I go through a lot of this base prep. It's the best way to clean your skis too. I mean, aside from scraping off gunk, but then you can give them a hot scrape. So you put on some base prep and then scrape it while it's still warm. It pulls out all the impurities and gunk. Especially in the spring, it's a nice thing to do to your skis. I like to see how the wax is melting as I do this. And you can kind of tell by how long the wax stays liquid, how warm the base, the ski itself is getting. So I want to kind of gently warm the base as I melt this wax in. I can see it starting to pool behind the iron here. Yeah, that means the base is getting warm because the wax is staying in the liquid state a little longer than it was when I first started applying the wax. Okay. That's pretty good for the first pass there. And set that wax aside. Here's the fiberlene. So this particular batch that I got is quite thin. So I've been using it doubled over. I'm going to cut pieces off. This is a Swix product. And I find if I use it doubled over, it doesn't rip as easily. The stuff I had last time was thicker and a little more durable. This was inexpensive though for that big roll. I forget how much it was, but seems like it used to cost more when it first came out years ago. So it's a little clip. Hold the fiberlene, and then the clip goes right in the waxing iron here. If you had a waxing iron and wondered what that clip was all about, that's what it's for. So now, I'm going to just go Tip to tail, I guess. And this is going to even out that wax. It protects the base from direct contact with the iron. And gives you a nice, even, consistent waxing experience. And it also will, kind of any impurities or crud that's on your bases will get kind of sucked into the fiberlene. I think that's where it really shines. You want to feel it sliding, so you want to feel you don't want it to stick. If it starts to stick, then it's probably a sign that you don't have enough wax on there. Now, this being a new ski, and the fact that I gave it a brushing, there's really not any impurities to speak of here. There's a little fuzz. I'm going to give it a few passes here. So I'm thinking I'm going to do 3 coats of base prep. Wax scrape, wax scrape, wax scrape. I'm going to let it cool in between. It's going to be a bit of a process. If these were skate skis for cross country, I'd probably do like more. Maybe if I could stand to do 8 times, I would do maybe 8 times with the base prep. Because in skiing, it is so important to have a slidey ski. All right. So that's kind of the routine there. I'm going to let these cool. Do the other pair, the other ski. Let these cool and come back and scrape. And repeat the process. So I do have a little bit of smuts on this ski here. I don't know what it is, a little dirt from my car or gummy something. So I'm just going to take a tiny bit of wax remover here and just hit that like that. Clean that off. Skis are never going to be as clean as they are now, being brand new. So give it that first little brushing just to wake up the PTEX. Any little oxidation that might be on there. Okay. And we're ready for wax. This will be the narrowest ski I've been on for a lift serve ski. For quite some time. I think my old K2 World Pistes were around 80 underfoot, something like that. I'm not sure. These are 84. I'm in the base prep. Okay, these have cooled down and time for their first scrape. I've got my thick scraper here. I think it's 5 millimeters. And it's a little grungy, so I'm just gonna, I like to clean my scrapers at least at the beginning of the season. I kind of brushed off some of this wax already, but I'm gonna try and get at least a couple clean edges here. wax remover and a rag. Clean off the scraper. And then it's really important, keep your scraper sharp, because especially with skis with metal edges, they will tend to get worn down a bit. Yeah, it's a bit cleaner. So to sharpen the scraper, I use, a scraper sharpener, which is mounted to my workbench over here. I think you can see that in the corner of your view there. It's basically a little Panzer file that's got this 90-degree support here. So I'm just going to take my scraper and carefully slide it over there. And oh yeah. Flip it. Takes a little getting used to. They have other ones that hold both sides, but it seems to work for me. Okay. Nice sharp scraper. One thing about using the fiberlene is you tend to get, you have less scraping to do too. Because it just leaves that nice layer of wax without a lot of humps and bumps all over the place. Sorry for the noise there. I've wondered in the past if you could just reheat this same wax back into the base when you're doing this. But I've always heard you should scrape in between, so that's what I do. I guess it makes sense. I'm trying to scrape off all the wax. Oh my god, he's going tail to tip. Is he gonna ruin his ski? No. That's pretty good. I'm really bearing down with quite a bit of force here, which my arthritic thumbs don't really enjoy. Here we go. I really like this brush. This is actually a drafting brush. An old drafting brush to brush pencil marks off your vellum. Nice and soft. Just clean the bits and pieces off there. And I'm going to use the horsehair brush here. Just to get some of that wax out of the structure in the base. You might be able to see it's leaving just a bit of a kind of a powdery residue here. As I do that, just kind of some powder, wax powder. And it'll be ready now for its next round of wax. Wax on, wax off. Right? You remember The Karate Kid, don't you? I really identified with that movie because the style of karate that was used in that movie was a Wei-Shei-Ru, which is the same style that I studied when I was a youth. It's kind of transformative for me as a kid. Doing the karate, you know, it's like 10, 11, 12. Gave me some self-confidence, focus, control over my body, kinesthetic awareness, and was no longer scared to go down dark alleys. All right, that's enough silliness for now. Time to wax on.